Good morning, students. Today we start the second unit of your business organization. This unit is dealing with the different forms of business organizations. We have already studied in our earlier classes. There are n number of business organizations as per the feasibility and requirement of the business people. One may opt for sole tradership, one may opt for partnership, one may opt for a cooperative society, one may opt for undivided Hindu family, one may opt joint stock company, one may opt one person company, one may opt unlimited liability, limited liability partnership, like that. Today we start about or learn about the sole tradership. As a overall observation of the word sole tradership, sole means one person. Here we can understand that a person who takes the risk of organizing a business on his own, facing different risks as well as obtaining different advantages, having certain specific characteristics, and who strive hard for the survival and continuity of the business organization with his abilities, skills and thinking power. So such type of organizations, the sole tradership is one of that. So here it's a one man action. It's a one person business, you can say. The sole trader himself is the owner, himself is the financier, himself is the profit taker, or himself or herself is the risk taker also. So the profits are entirely goes to the sole trader and the losses are supposed to be entirely borne by the sole trader. So the plus and minus of the total business is depending upon and being taken by the sole proprietor of the business, who is the one man to run the organization. And it is the most prominent, even though it has several disadvantages, several specific problems and risks in it, even then it is the most prominent business establishment across the world even today also. So now coming to the questions of the features of the sole tradership. The first and foremost thing is it is individual initiative. Means the idea of starting a business, the idea of conducting a business, the idea of running a business, the idea of managing a business is purely personal, purely individual thought, and the thought has made that person to enter into the business. Here everything is provided by the businessman itself. All the factors of production, mostly which are required to conduct the business, will be provided by the sole trader only. So this is an individual initiative, it's not a group initiative. The entire business unit is run by the single person and on his single decision making capability and his own skills. So that's why it's an individual initiative. The second one is unlimited liability. So the liability is nothing but the accountability on the part of a person to have the risk of the business. So here, in the case of profits, no problem, the business continues. In the case of the risk, in the case of losses, it should be entirely borne by the sole proprietor only. In the case of heavy losses, sometimes the personal assets of the sole trader can also be in a risky and threatening position. Means they might have foregone. There are so many instances that the sole proprietors have foregone their individual and personal assets and belongings also for due to becoming insolvent in the situation of conducting the sole proprietorship. Next one is management and control. Means the unlimited liability. There is no limitation to that. Anything of businessman will go in. Maybe it's personal, maybe it is business, everything goes out. The next point is management control. Here one person management and one person control. All the functions of a manager here are taken by the sole proprietor only. Like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, reporting, budgeting, everything they will be done by the sole proprietor only. And all overall resources control, actions and activities control, and decision control, everything is run by the sole proprietor only. So it is one man show, you can say, management and control. The next one is self-motivation. Here the person who conducts the business is going to motivate himself or herself only. And as per the ignition of the motivation in the heart and soul of the sole trader, the business may be flourishing or may not flourish also. If the motivation is high, enthusiasm is high, the achievement may be high, more creativity and more achievement. On the other hand, if the everything is low, like motivation, achievement or creativity, automatically the business decreases and the losses may arise due to the operations. So here motivation is self-motivation, no other person motivates because it is a competitive area. Every sole trader is having huge competition because there are n number of sole traders in the market. So high level self-motivation is essential. That's why businessmen, sole traderships, they will have high level self-motivation to safeguard their interest of doing the business. Next one, secrecy. In the case of sole proprietorship, the business secrecy is kept inside within the person only. The revealing of the business secrets does not arise most probably. Because if there is no secrecy, automatically there will be huge competition and sometimes they plunge into huge and heavy losses also. They forego and forbidden to do the business also. So that's why the secrecy is maintained. All business secrets are maintained within himself or herself who is conducting the sole proprietorship. The question of leaking out the business secrets does not, as far as possible, does not arise. The next one is proprietor and proprietorship. Here single proprietor and there is no difference between the proprietor and the proprietorship. The entity and the proprietor, both are one and the same. As an overall, it's a one-man show as I already told you. So the proprietor of the business and enjoying the proprietorship of the business, both are one and the same. They cannot be seen separately, bifurcatedly. Next one is owner and business exist together. The same point here. But the owner who himself or herself is a part and parcel of the business. You cannot see a sole proprietor keeping away from the shop or from the business unit and run by the employees solely. No, it's a part and parcel of the business. So without sole proprietorship, the business house cannot function on a daily basis also. Everywhere, the involvement of the owner is must and should. So they exist together. Next one is limited area of operation. Due to limited financing opportunity, limited managerial talent, limited skills, limited ability and efficiency, most of the times the area of operation is also geographically localized. Due to that, the operations of the business are very much limited, and to that extent only the sole trader is supposed to maintain the business. Now coming to the question of the advantages. The first and foremost advantage is it is easy to form. Simple. As we are observing n number of business units every day coming in and going out. It is easy to form and it will also disappear so naturally also if it is not properly mentioned. Henceforth, it is easy to form. This is one of the famous things on the part of the advantages of the business organization. Because it is all the factors of production are critically supplied by the owner himself or herself. Next one is the better control. It is as the owner is himself or herself is duly being there in the business management, henceforth control can be exercised so properly. Next one is flexibility. Here the businessman is supposed to take the decisions, fix the working hours, fix the human resources supposed to be and engaged in the organizational maintenance. Next one is retention of business secret. Secrecy is maintained always. Easy to finance. Here the one person is supposed to finance the business. There is no question of going for raising the finance. Mostly it is a private investment from his pocket, his family pocket and his friend's pocket. That's all. So it is easy to finance. Next one is direct motivation. Here the person himself is self-directed, self-motivated, self-controlled. Automatically the business flourishes as the motivation is direct and there is no delay on executing the things being get motivated solely or himself. Prompt decision making. The decisions are made promptly because the businessman himself is in the doing of the things. Proper presentation is there. So he is present himself or she is present herself in the business as a cog of the business. Henceforth, decisions will be almost prompt because always the business sole trader knows that a small deviation in decision making or a wrong in the decision making will lead to huge loss on the part of the business organization. There is a direct access. The business is supposed to have the direct access because the owner and ownership are not separated. It is one and the only one. Inexpensive management. Here the question of managing the organization, like big organizations, we have the organizational hierarchy that does not arise here. The manager and the owner are one and the same. So the question of managerial remuneration, the question of gigantic management body does not arise. Henceforth, the expenses regarding the management of the organization does not arise. Next one is self-employment. Most of the situations in every country, in order to escape from the problem of getting employment, most of the youth, most of the people who want to earn their livelihood, the first and foremost option they get is the self-employment. It is an employment not only for the owner but also on the part of the employees who depend upon the sole trader, the sole tradership or the enterprise which is run under sole tradership. Henceforth, it is an employment opportunity to the owner as well as the employees of the sole tradership only. Among the others, what we can say is, there is no that much of legal restrictions. There are no socially desirable things because business itself is a desirable one. Society desired thing. And next one is, it is going to have a healthy and happy relationship with the employees, with the customers, as well as having a locus of good concentration over the market and desires to have the supplement to the needs and desires and wants of the local customers and the employees of the business. Henceforth, it is a favorite or a favorable entrepreneurship, a favorable entity on the part of the business and sole tradership. So these are all the things and characteristics of and the advantages of the sole tradership or the sole proprietorship. Now coming to the disadvantages. The first disadvantage is, it is limited resources. Out of the characteristics only we can take. Having limited resources because it is a one-man show. The one man's ability is going to provide us the limitation of providing the resources. Limited managerial ability, as the person may be educated one, may not be an educated one. Due to having a way of self-employment, they have started the business. So the limited managerial capability is also there. Here, sometimes they need an advice to face out a problem. But due to sole tradership, the secrecy is to be maintained. Because of that, he cannot consult the other. This is also a problem. The next one is proprietor and proprietorship are one and the same. When they are one and the same, the risk is not supposed to be divided among the owners. Because one man show and one man loss, a loss is completely to be borne by one man. The next one is limited area of operation. The operations are confined to a particular zone. Henceforth, he cannot expand the business because of lack of support and manpower on the part of the business organization. Therefore, it is a wise decision on the part of the sole trader to run it properly and having high levels of self-motivation. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we will go for in detail of the sole proprietorship. Thank you.